keeping safe. And thank you for joining us in the morning at on a Saturday. And so my name is Vanya. I'll just give a quick background of where I'm coming from. My name is Vanya. I'm a volunteer with Head Start. I'm not sure how many of you know about Head Start, so I'll just take a minute for that. Head Start is early stage startup development organization. We enable the ecosystem right from working with startups to working with founders, investors, accelerators, incubators. So we work with stakeholders all over, and our aim is to change the world through entrepreneurship. We've been in India for about 14 years now and have presence in 30 cities with two chapters internationally, one in Berlin and one in Finland. Uh, so that's just a quick brief background of where I'm coming from and what Head Start is. Today, in fact, we're here for a session on how to build a team, how to keep them motivated and engaged, because it's very important. And I believe a lot of startups and startup founders face this challenge. And we have Kushal Agarwal, who's the co-founder of Xoxoday, uh, who'll brief us about the session. And I hope that you get a lot of food for thought after the session. So a little bit about Kunal. He's a travel enthusiast come entrepreneur. He co-founded Xoxoday at the age of 22, which is amazing. He briefly worked with Flipkart in India and with Bitco oil refineries in Kenya. In his 8 years of career, he has built, led, and advised multiple enterprise-led businesses in a global scale. He currently manages growth strategy and expansion at Xoxoday. He loves to travel and has a vast experience of traveling to more than 70 countries. And an interesting fact is that he represented India in a few rare expeditions with uh, Mongol Rally, which is one of the longest car drive in the world from London to Mongolia. The Great African Nile River Ride and minus 40 degrees Greenlandic expedition. So, I mean, he comes not just from a amazing business background, but he has immense, world exposure as well. So that's a bit about Kushal, and like I said, he founded Xoxoday at 22. Xoxoday now, offers business software products to solve problems around employee rewards and recognition, channel sales, incentives, and consumer promotions. So the software products are used by HR leaders, channel managers, and brand marketers across 700 plus global companies to engage their employees, channel partners, and consumers. So, I mean, after this introduction, I believe that, all of us have a good idea that he is the best person to talk about the said topic. So, without further ado, I'll just pass on the torch to Kushal and he'll take over the session.
Thanks, Vanya, for that long intro. I'm not that magician. I'm just a simple entrepreneur who just had a dream to build a build a great value on the earth. And yes, thanks to Head Start for helping me, deliver this session. So. I'm not a typical founder or a CEO. I would like to share all my real experiences in these 8 years. So some of the success areas are that we have been able to onboard more than 1,000 companies in these 8 years, and all without funding. Right. So we have some success areas, we have some failure areas, but I'll try to bring in all the scenarios, out here, and you can probably, and it's a learning curve. I won't say that I'm 100% perfect, but yes, we can. Towards the end of the session, we can brainstorm. You can share some insights about in my business. You can You can share your suggestion, your questions around it, and we can co-create and we can create a value for all of us. So, so with that, I'll share my screen, and with the permission of Vanya, can I share my screen, Vanya, and then
Of course, Kushal.
okay, okay,
So
cool.
we're also running a poll just to get a sense of what kind of audience do we have, so that whatever you say is very relevant to the audience. So as far as I mean, I can see right now we around 40% of our audience is a startup founder. 30% of them are working in startups. About 12% of them are working in corporates, and we have a good mix of 12% people who are aspiring entrepreneurs, and we have a small proportion of 6% people who are students as well.
Okay, lovely, lovely. Thanks, Vanya, for that. So, I know the audience now, so I will be now. I'll try to kind of tweak the content which would be more relevant for this audience. Thanks, Vanya, for that. So, so hello guys. Thanks for having me here. And today, what I'll be sharing is I'll be sharing the basics about the GTM and automations. And these are all real experiences which I'll try to share. And we as Xoxoday, just to share a little about Xoxoday. I think Priya, you should correct the description which Vanya has shared. Xoxoday is not into completely rewards, recognition, employee engagement, and everything. I mean, uh, the description has to be trimmed and it has to be made simpler. And we will connect back post this session. Yeah. So. So today I'll be talking about the basics of GTM and automations. A lot of times we have seen that we as entrepreneurs, we are very emotional to our ideas. So I'll share one of the examples of Xoxoday. So we were called as Gift XOXO in early days in 2012 to 2017. And at that time, when we started, we felt that group gifting can be a killer idea. Where I mean, you might have seen the scenarios where your friends are getting married and you want to pull in all of your friends wants to pull in some money, and then they want to give something big to the bride and the groom. And it looks like a great idea that okay, there are what around 5 crore, not 5 crore, I think 2.5 3 crore marriages happening every year. And there's a big opportunity if you take a ticket size of, let's say, 10,000 rupees. It's something, right? So it becomes some big business model around that. But when we started that, we realized that we ourselves are not using that concept, or we felt that there is a need, but there is not a need, right? So it starts from there, where you start thinking that is there a need which I feel it's a need, or it's actual a need in the market. So we'll be discussing all those pieces in this particular session, and co-create and brainstorm in a couple of areas. So first point, whenever you want to do a GTM or create a TAM, you first validate your idea. You first have to qualify the idea. Is it a real idea, or it's your obsession, right? So you have to do that. Then you have to understand that how big is your idea, right? So who are the buyers of that idea, and then you have to understand that how your idea can be discovered by people. So in this slides, I've taken Xoxoday's example, which is a B2B company. So the construct and the structure remains the same for B2C and B2B both, but I'll be taking more references of a B2B scenario when you want to crack a corporate, how you should kind of go about it, right? So let's double click one by one. When you want to qualify your idea, or when you want to qualify a need, you need to understand that is a need, you think there is a need, or is this a need which buyer thinks, or is it a need which buyer will buy, right? and has the buyer purchased it from you or someone of your competition, right? So these are 4 qualification criterias which you have to qualify a particular, idea as or need as. All 4 statements are very different, and it has to be understood in a very deep manner. So if I say that is the need which you actually think, so yes, we some most of the ideas come when we experience something wrong, or when we experience a gap in the product offering or something like that. But that need, you realize that it's only that you think, or many other people think, or uh, people are thinking, but will they buy? So consider, for example, at Gift XOXO, early days, we started a company. We pivoted from group gifting to experience gifting. So we thought that everyone has aspires to fly a plane, or go for a golfing experience, or spend weekend in super amazing kind of super amazing things. Uh, so we had that thought, and we pivoted our business model from group gifting to experience gifting, and we realized that the buyer thinks that there's a need. So everyone thinks that yes, I want to fly a plane, right? But we realized over a period of time that the buyer thinks that he has a need, that he wants to go and fly a plane, but will he buy it? So we understood that people over the weekend, they would like to sleep. They would not like to venture out and go and do some crazy adventure stuff. So the need which we thought, or the buyer thought, was not exactly a need or a business case altogether. So you have to qualify that thin line between what you think and what can be bought. And then we also have to understand that has the buyer purchased it from you or somewhere else? So is there a competition? If there is no competition, which means that your idea, yes, we feel that my idea is completely unique, and it should sell. Yes, it will sell in some of the cases, but if you do not have any competition, your idea needs a rethink clearly, because if you have idea, someone else might also have the same idea, and why that startup hasn't succeeded, that's a question which you have to ask very deep. So these are some of the qualification criterias or qualification areas which you should do as a business, as a first step. The second step is you have to understand that how big is the need. Is it a very small need, a very niche need, or it's a large need? So you have to understand how big is the need, who will buy, right? So will it be businesses, will it be consumers, what profile of consumers, etc., and what will they buy? So will they buy your software product? Will they buy your some service or something else? You have to underline that what they will buy, and why they will buy, and how many of them can buy, right? So this will actually define that, okay, how big is your need. And then the third piece is discoverability, how people can reach out to you, right, as a business. Will they are these people searching for the solution over web, or maybe Google, right? Or the buyer realize a need. If you educate him that, okay, is this a problem to you, then they realize that yes, this is a problem for me, right? And then is the buyer neither searching or realizing the need, and then in these cases you have to kind of do deep education and sessions to kind of make them realize the need, etc. So discoverability is also a very important piece. If the first point is valid, that okay, is buyer searching solutions over web, that is Google and all, you have to do the keyword research, right? So there are thousands of keyword search tools. You have to understand, are the people actually searching for your solutions over web, right? That will qualify that, okay, there is a discoverability in the market, and then you can use some hacks to kind of pull them to your website or pull them to your kind of distribution channel, and then you sell your products, right? So discoverability becomes a very important factor while you're kind of validating your idea, right? So these three components are very important, and what I'll do is I'll quickly show you how Xoxoday did it on these three things. So first, Xoxoday, it's a software to digitize rewards and incentives. We have three products. One is for sales teams, one is for the employees, and one is for the consumers. Now, let's see on these questions what I mentioned earlier. Is it a need which you think, which means Xoxoday think? Yes, it is. I think that there's a large scope of kind of market in terms of rewards and incentives. Is it a need which buyer thinks? Yes, the buyer is, whenever I talk to a buyer, he needs it and he's searching for it. Is it a need which buyer will buy? Yes. And has the buyer purchased it from your some of your competition? Yes. I have decent number of competition available in the market, which actually makes me strong, which actually makes the entire market size bigger. So you should not treat your competition saying that you should not get afraid of the competition. If there are competition, means that means that there are more and more and good number of good amount of demand as well, right? So we did the qualification this way. Then second, how big was the need? Where who will buy? The businesses will buy. What will they buy? They will buy my software license. Why they will buy? Because processing of these rewards and incentives is all manual at the moment, right? So you procure gift cards, you procure some gift items, and then you kind of dispatch it to people. So manual processing leads to significant errors, delays, and huge cost of distribution. Hence, the customer or a business will buy. And how many of them buy? There are millions of businesses across the world who can buy, right? Then about discoverability, is the buyer searching solution over web? Upon Google keyword research, which we did, it was not too high, right? So we didn't, we were not disappointed with that. Okay, Google, when you do the Google keyword research and when you, let's say, compare with the CRM to, let's say, solutioning around keywords around rewards and incentives, the amount of searches would be less than 10% of what CRM is searched over web. Then we started kind of doing a little more research and try to understand, is the buyer realizing the need on educating? Yes. So whenever I say that, do you have a sales incentive scheme? Most of the businesses say yes, we do have. Then the company say that, and if I ask that, are you solving this problem using spreadsheets? They say yes, we are solving it through spreadsheets. And when I ask them that, do you face any difficulty, friction in processing it? They say yes, which means that if the buyer can be educated a bit, there can be the discoverability factor can come in picture, right? So which means that I have to focus and put my more energy on creating amazing content around it, right? The third is buyer neither searching or not realizing the need? No, I mean, they are realizing the need. If your business falls in this criteria, you should simply say that this is not a need, and you should take it as a pinch of salt that your business might not work, right? So uh, uh, so whenever you're validating your idea, you should keep these three elements in mind, so that because the next phase of the efforts will purely be on the basis of these initial steps. Now, this was the first step. The second step involves building the TAM, which is target addressable market. Whom all you have to reach out to, right? So first step within this is listing and shortlisting of use cases. So when you pen down your business model, when you pen down your idea, you might have encountered that there are hundreds of use cases why your product can be utilized, right? So you have to list down all the use cases which you can think of, right? Then you can see you have to pen down how many or what all industries you can go after, how many geos you can go after, and how big are these geos and industries. Then third, the personas. So for every use case, for every industry, there will be a different persona as well. And the persona of buyer who will buy or who will take a decision will be very different from the influencer who will be sharing the knowledge, or maybe who will be a part of decision making process, but he will influence the decision of a buyer, right? So you should understand these three things while you are kind of building your TAM. Now let's double click on all these three cases, how we did it with Xoxoday, right? So as I mentioned, Xoxoday is into rewards and incentives, right? So if you see the left hand side, these are the four areas where rewards and incentive spends happen within a business. It is being spent on consumers, it is spent on sales and channel, it is spent on employees and others. And then if you see the business matrix towards the bottom, I mean the second column, on each use case there are multiple sub use case which are there where rewards and incentives are spent. And on each business matrix or use case there are separate set of integrations which I have to do, right? So you have to pen down the entire matrix of or the entire landscape of the places where all you can sell your product as. And once you have mapped it down, now the second is you have to shortlist where you want to go. You cannot go to all places all at once, because each activity we are doing is a cost to the company and a cost to the focus which you will be giving to the business. So you have to shortlist that these are one or two areas where I will go after. So in Xoxoday, what we did was we have primary focus channels, and then we have secondary focus channels. The primary channels are sales and employees. Why the businesses will buy us for having business better revenue and increase the deal velocity, or why the businesses will buy for employees, for appreciating employees, and for maybe performance or long space awards. So we what we did was we picked very few cases where we can sell. Yes, we have many other, but we focus only 5% effort on that. But 95% of the effort would be in selected few altogether. So this way you can actually give a deep focus to your business, and you can get revenues in a much faster and in a much more optimized way. So don't pick all at once. Just pick one or two or three max, and then I'll show you how complicated it becomes if you take too many use cases at one time. So once you have taken that, once you have picked an ideal or the use case which is important for you, or you want to go after with, then you have to understand basically a couple of features, or a couple of I would say personas of the product itself. That okay, is your product can your product be reused and sold again and again? Which means that have you made a product which can be which is sellable again and again, and doesn't require too much of customization. So you have to also understand the personas of your product. That can it be reused, can it be customized, how much effort will be required to customize. From here you can actually draw your pricing, that if the effort is too high, then you should not approach the small and the mid market. You should approach the enterprises, right? If your product is all DIY, which any customer can come, they can try and they can buy, it is meant for small and mid-sized businesses, right? So you have to build a persona of these industries and geos. Understand which all geo you would like to go after, what industry, what are the buyer profiles and influencer profiles. Let's see how I mean, and it can go deep. So you can use some of the tools like LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and you can map that. Okay, as per the number of users in the company, in a particular geo, how many companies are there, right? So you can pick that. Okay, mid market is the segment. Let's say 200 to 5,000 is the segment in India and US, which I want to kind of target, and these are the number of companies which are there, right? So you have to go focus, and then you have to target target a geo industry, a segment of industry, and a buyer very sharp, laser sharp, on a laser sharp basis. So for us also today, as you might have seen, we selected sales channel and employees, and the buyer profile would be for the use case one, it was the HR heads, and use case two was the sales heads, and the influencer profiles are, let's say, the rewards head and the sales strategy guys. So once you know all these things, that is when you can focus and you can target things better. If you focus, you will actually trim costs. So in startups, we are in fund crunch most of the times, right? So there are only 1% of the startups in India who actually get early access to funds. Rest others, we have to strive, and we have to see that we have to optimize the cost, and we have to kind of use the money which we have judiciously, right? So the focus will actually help you to trim cost, create clearer communication, and get better results. And if you're failing, then fail fast. So if you feel that these business cases are not working well for me, you give it a try, give it a best try. But if it's not working, move to some other kind of propositions. And if many of them are not working, then you should call it a quit, right? So it doesn't require too much of kind of don't think that if I'm failing, then I'm actually losing out something. No, you're doing you have learned a lot from the entire startup entrepreneur experience altogether. Now let's see how to map the customer journey, right? So now we have learned that we have focused on our target profile of people. We have a TAM now. Now we need to understand how we can bring the customers on board, right? How we can bring those TAM to kind of buy us, right? So that's the third chapter, where you first try to understand how the companies can discover you, and then how he can start interacting with you, right? And then how you can start interacting with you, the companies who have interacted with you, how you can close them, and then how it is closed, and how you can make them a success. So it's a customer journey, and we'll double click on each one of them. So first one is the discovery to demos. So you have discovered leads from your target addressable market, that okay, let's say 10,000 companies are in your kitty, right? In, let's say, India and US. So that is your target audience whom you have to reach out to. You then have to see that how you can educate those leads, and you get a qualification of these leads using band. So band is nothing but so whenever, before giving a demonstration about the product, you should understand and put your efforts to the leads which has high probability of conversions. So basis your TAM, you will have inflow of leads. You will start having the responses, and you have to qualify them. Qualify them that okay, let's say if I'm talking about the rewards and incentives industry, I before setting up the meeting, my lead qualifiers, they ask certain questions to people that what kind of budget you spend on rewards and incentives, who takes the decision on these initiatives, what is your exact need in the overall process. You want a digital interface, you want a physical gift, you want any other pieces, you want integrations to your MS Teams, or maybe something like that. Then you understand the timelines, that okay, how soon you want to kind of close the deal. So once they qualify the lead with these scenarios, so you cannot ask these people directly that okay, what's the budget. So you have to kind of tweak the wordings in such a way that it would suit the it would actually answer these questions. And once this is qualified, that is when you demonstrate and you kind of you take things forward. let's see how Xoxoday does it. So typically we have seen that once we start the messaging cadence, a prospect responds to Xoxoday on the sixth message. This can vary as per business to business, but persistency and continuity of the message and the quality of messages is very, very important for you. So so here when you're nurturing the lead, you have to put content, and you can probably use some of the topics like the education of the problem, impact of the problem, solution brief, how different you're solving from the competition, your startup story, case study, etc. So you can create content around these topics. You can have many more topics, but you need to nurture these leads whom we have caught, and try to kind of move them up the ladder on the funnel. For the lead discovery, typically what we do is, as you might have seen in the initial slides, I mentioned that the people are not searching over Google, right? So I have a problem area here, so I can't target them through AdWords. I can target, but the lead velocity will be less, right? So from this, what I derived that is, I'll have to focus more on the outbound, where I need to educate to these people, right? So my effort has been split between inbound and outbound. And when I talk about the inbound, what I do is I create a TAM, I create a database of people who might want to reach out to, create a email cadence. We use a CRM HubSpot, which has great ways to kind of to kind of nurture a lead. So we create a HubSpot cadence. We build certain we create some content based AdWords. We also optimize the website so that every lead who is visiting the website should leave his contact details if he wants the solution. And then in terms of outbound, we use LinkedIn messages, cold calls, and newspapers. So this is a new thing which we found. So we read newspapers every day, and my entire I would say leads and team has been asked to read newspapers every day. And in newspapers, some or the other people might give their interview, or some of the opinion would have been captured, and we could probably appreciate those people and ask them for a meeting. So these are very different way to kind of generate leads, but yes, that has worked for us, and we get decent number of meetings from there, or demonstrations from there. So you can define your own ways to for the inbound and outbound, and you have to decide it on the basis of your first validation, and then build your kind of strategy according to that. The second step is, now you have given a demo, how you can close it. So closure is, this is what the actual sales cycle is, right? So from demonstrations to closures. So a lot of times people forget that, whenever you're in business, you have to actually focus on all three things. You cannot stop at just generating demos. You cannot stop at closure. You cannot stop at just success. It's a combination of all three things. So guys, someone can help me. Vanya, can you help me if I'm audible? Hello?
Yeah, now you are. Kushal, we lost
Help
you
me.
for the last 10-15 seconds. Now we can hear you.
Abhishek.
But I think your screen share is gone. We
Oh,
can't see
okay.
the screen.
Okay. Is my screen visible now, Vanya?
Yes.
No, I can't see.
Hello.
So screen is visible. The dock is not visible yet. Now it is.
Thanks. Yeah. So I was the doc. It's visible, right? Okay. The discovery to demos and helping companies to succeed using your product, right? So what you have to do is use some of the other ways to kind of discover the leads. It can be a mix of inbound and outbound basis your the earlier validation. Then you have to focus keep how you can move and it has a science, right? So you have to understand the intermediate steps between the demos to closure. That okay, you're giving a demo, then you're nurturing with some educational content, you're following up. So customers love follow-ups. So you should educate and tell your team members that if you're not following up, the customers feel offended. So you have to create a follow up which is manual plus some automated ways. So the follow ups are the important in kind of in closures. The technology and commercial discussions are important, and then closure. So let's see how Xoxoday does it. So from the demonstration to closures, we have analyzed that our current sales cycle is close to 90 days from demo to closure. And what we do is we have a 120-day plan. So after 90 days, there are many customers who kind of take time more than 90 days as well. So what we have done is we have made a 120-day plan for these customers, and we have created some unique content on specific days. So on the day zero, on the day when you are giving, when we give demo, automatically in our CRM we just click on demo done, and an introduction kit about the product goes to the client directly, instantly, right? Without any saying. We can send the proposal maybe sometime later, but the introduction kit or a communication that some of the reading material and intro kit goes right on the day zero. And there is also a message which goes to the person that rate the meeting, so that you can also rate the sales representative who is giving the demo. Has the customer understood the content which the sales rep has given, right? So day zero we give that, then day 3, day 10 to kind of the entire day 120. So this actually covers all these elements like sharing educational content, uh, some soft follow-ups, detailing about the commercial, how they get to save using our product, etc. So the entire plan is in place within the CRM, and it's all automated. As soon as the stage of a particular lead moves to some other stage, that is when this cadence stops, right? So this actually takes away a lot of trivial tasks which gets involved in the overall business. Now, once we have given, once the client has started giving the business, or he has signed up with us, then there's other story where you have to make them a success and you have to upsell things, right? Because acquiring a customer, it is said that if you have acquired a customer, the cost of acquisition of the money is equal to almost 3/4 of your money which you have collected from them. So if you have invested that much money on that customer, you cannot let them leave, and you have to farm them. You have to ensure that they give more business to you over a period of time, and hence closure to success is very, very important. And these are a couple of elements which you should consider within your CRM. Like, you on the day of onboarding, you give them a welcome kit, you send monthly newsletters, and these monthly letters should not clutter the customer. It should have a very finer and neater breakup of your entire news which you want to send out to people. You share the product adoption snapshot, that okay, what all and etc. You also have to do certain surveys and share the industry report with them. And also you should celebrate the anniversary. So if a customer has signed up, let's say today, next year on the same day, you should be able to kind of communicate with them that okay, it's been 1 year we have been working with them, and highly grateful, etc. So the messaging has to be kind of can be clear. Now this is how Xoxoday does. The average lifetime value of a client with Xoxoday is almost 4 years, and we have a plan. What we do is we send out certain communication every 15 days, and we have a plan for all 365 days in a year. And on the day of on the first year, what we say that is we plant a tree on our relationship, so that our relationship grows. So with the customer, and that the client which has you, and you have to nurture those leads. You have to deploy a team there, and you have to ensure that the customer see a success element from there. Now comes for the sales automation. So I've noted down some of the recommended tools, and I feel that sales automation is something which is very, very important. And anything which you're doing as recurring can be automated. It can actually multiply your automations. You rate the meeting. So you have given your sales rep given a demo, and you rate the meeting. You get an insight that okay, how your sales team, what's the quality of the sales team, and you get to understand that how you can kind of improve them, right? So rate the meeting is very important. You validate your idea, you validate your guys. I'm so sorry. There has been a power outage. Priya, Vanya, can you? Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
Kushal, now you are.
Okay. Yeah, so I was talking about some of the sales automations, and some of the automations like rate the meeting, recurring billings, follow up triggers, referrals, celebrating milestones. This is something which is very interesting, which we have kind of automated within our company. That is, you never miss a prospect. So let's say you have given a demo to, let's say, Kushal, and he changes the company. So I mean, do you feel that you should leave Kushal because he has left the company and has joined new company? So it should the statement should be valid that you should crack two companies, the existing one as well as the new company, right? So what we have done is we have used certain automations, and we never miss a prospect. So automatically, if let's say Kushal joins some other company, uh, email is triggered to him in his official email ID that wonderful to know that you have joined a new company, and we would love to work with you in this company as well. So this way you never miss a prospect as well. So you should I mean, this will actually give you at least 10%, 10 to 15% of your lead inflow will come through this particular automation. There are other automations like incentive automation. You can use Xoxoday for automating the sales incentives. The customer journey analytics and automations, etc., are some of the other kind of automation you can look at. So every day you should think that what you can automate, what is repetitive in nature, and you can probably use it for the automations. Right. So now when you have kind of built or maybe you have implemented some of the automations. Now is the time you have to align and hire the teams. And hiring of the team is one thing, but understanding why you're hiring a particular sales guy is even important, right? So here are 3 steps to it. First, you already earlier we as Xoxoday, we kind of shortlisted certain use cases, industry, geos, and channel. That responsibility we will map it to the target, and then we will map it to the resources, right? So at Xoxoday, and I've scrapped some of the data from here, but I'll just explain you the logic how we kind of do it. So what you have to do is you have to list down the use cases, and then you have to list down the geographies where all you want to sell, and then you have to list down the sales channel, how you will be selling in these geos for these use cases. So this will give you a mind map of how many responsibilities you have within your business. So like we shortlisted earlier just 2 use cases, but if you see there are almost 8 to 9 responsibilities which we have to kind of take care of to kind of achieve certain numbers. So that's why it is important to trim and pick very few use cases so that you go focused and you go deep. So first thing is you put down the use cases, you put down the geo, and you put down the responsibility. Okay, these are the 8 to 9 teams you have to kind of build to have a business. Now once you have penned down the responsibility, you have to align the targets. So you have to see that for these responsibilities, what's the addressable client size, how many clients can buy each, right? What can be the average business you can get from each client? What can be the what would be the total market size, which is the combination of, which is the multiplication of the average per client and the addressable clients. And then you see that out of these addressable clients, how many of them you want to crack this year, right? And from there, how much you can earn and what could be the total target. So you go deep and you kind of define the target then, that okay, for this responsibility, this should be the target, right? And this way you will be having you will understand that for employee appreciation India integration 1, let's say 1 crore is the total target, right? So which means that you have 1 crore of earning which you will be making. Now out of 1 crore, how much you will spend to get this 1 crore? That is when you align the resources, that okay, to get let's say 1 crore, how many people you can deploy, what would be the cost of people, who would lead these people, who would kind of give demos, and who will bring the leads, right? So you go deep and you put down that number, and you put down the names of these people also. Who will these guys be? There can be a mix of people also. So let's say if you feel that integration 1 and integration 2 is small, you can kind of marry the two and you can have a responsibility to one person. But if the market is large, then you have to kind of retain the structure as is. But this will actually give extreme clarity to people and focus to people, and your salesman will just have one thing in his life, that okay, I have to crack employee appreciation India market from, let's say, MS Teams or maybe Slack. So this would be there, and these are the people who will be involved. So everything will be super kind of streamlined and simple for you. Then you also you know what you also do is you also align the marketing team over there. So you got the team, you got the target, you got the clients to crack. Then you have to understand that okay, how many leads I have to kind of generate to get the total target or the clients. You fix the division between the inbound and outbound. You put also some other channels like partnerships from where you get leads. You also might get leads from content. So all of it can be mapped, and this sheet will become your goal sheet for everyone. And if you're able to create this goal sheet, you can drive numbers. It's at much faster pace than a cluttered way. And this I've learned it by kind of burning my hands. And if you're able to do this, if you're able to optimize this, if you are able to put it in a very clear way, I'm 100% sure you can save at least 20 to 30% of your cost, which goes on resources. And yes, the very last point is you have to optimize and collect the feedback and implement it back. So you have to do quarterly reviews, understand the cost analysis of every line item of these in this particular sheet, align the hiring and rehiring process, do the performance and training sessions for these people, then enhance your offering, enhance your content. So a lot of times you might get certain FAQs from your clients. Use those FAQs as your content strategy. Use them to create those content which could be used sometime in future, because this content will be required by many other companies as well. So make these FAQs as your blogs, or maybe make them as your mainframe, a place where you kind of you write down your content around it. So this is how you optimize, collect feedback, enhance, rehire. And you have to keep your brain open, you have to keep your mind open, and you have to kind of optimize and improve over there. I think that's all I have. I think we are at 12. I'd be happy to help. You can write to me at Xoxoday, and we are hiring too. So if in case some of you would love to join our team, please write back to me or maybe refer me. And yes, happy to take up questions and suggestions, and we can probably take it.
Thanks, Kushal. That was like a very, very comprehensive and valuable, sort of a session where you not just got knowledge, but also got actual actionable insights into what to do and what not to do. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, we'd love to have questions, guys. So, if you have any questions, this is the time. We do have a question, Kushal. It's from Malcolm. He says that which automation tools besides CRM can be used to enhance sales productivity and track sales performance?
Yeah, so Malcolm, it's a very deep question, and requires a deep understanding. What do you mean by sales performance, and what aspect of sales performance you want to automate and track? We are using HubSpot, and we have seen that it works beautiful to kind of enhance the sales productivity. It has multiple layers like feedback, surveys, some blog oriented pieces, so many automations are possible within the CRM. I feel that if you are able to make CRM more intelligent over a period of time, it will
Priya, Karthik had a question regarding whether you'll be sending them the PPT which just Kushal just shared. Will that be possible?
Yes, yes, sure.
Uh,
Yes, yes. I'll
Great,
share the PPT with the recording.
Hello.
great.
I'm so sorry. I kept speaking. So Malcolm, I was answering your question. This A lot of automation can happen within your CRM itself. But when you want to kind of track the sales performance, the most of the things are available within the CRM itself. You have to choose the right CRM for your audience, for your people. But is there any specific point you want to track in the sales team? Happy to discuss after this call, and maybe I can help you.
So Kushal, Atul has asked, he says that tell us more about closing US prospects when your sales team is mostly in India. What are the challenges and solutions for that?
So Atul, I think we are also chasing that. So I think I'll have better answer after a couple of months. But yes, I can share a couple of things which we are doing at the moment. I mean, we should connect sometime after this call, and we can brainstorm on a couple of pieces. Yes, US cracking a US market is damn different than that of India. US is all about inbound. So most of the leads we get is from inbound activity. So we write amazing content for the US market, and then we get inward leads from there. The cost of the lead in US is approximately 4 times of that in India. We get leads. We have set up a team there in US. We have set up a team here in India. So see, you can't do everything based out of India. So you need a local guy uh, in US, at least one or two, maybe, to kind of manage certain pieces. Because you as a founder, you can kind of spend your 24 hours, but you also have a body clock, and you will burn out over a period of time. So you need to have some person who can manage that body clock, and who can do that. Inbound is the way we have found more relevant for the US market. We have built the entire strategy according to that. So if you can relate to that sheet which I shared of the resource planning, etc. We see that how much cost it will require, and what will be the target, and what could be the conversion, and basis that we have planned the entire resources of the efforts in inbound, outbound, etc. So I think this needs a deeper discussion. Would love to hear from you what you are doing currently. Maybe I can take some things from you, and I can share some of the pieces which we are doing, and doing well. So currently we are getting close to 100 odd leads in a month from US, and the conversion rate is fairly decent. But yes, we need to brainstorm on the basis of your business, how you're doing, and maybe find out a solution.
So there's one more question by Molly. Uh, she's asked that, is there any suggestion to build trust among customers to reduce sales velocity?
To reduce sales velocity.
Yeah, I think
Sales velocity it should never be reduced. Sales
yeah, I think it must have been like a typo. We need to increase sales velocity is more like it.
Yeah. So as I shown you the entire customer journey, if you're able to map that customer journey well in your CRM, and if you're able to capture that, you can. I'm showing you a real example of Xoxoday, where we have a lifetime value of more than 4 years. In fact, I remember the clients like Infosys who have been with me from last 6-7 years. So if you are able to crack that piece, if you are able to kind of create that cadence well, you can easily reduce the attrition of the churn rate of customers, and you have a healthy relation with them. I mean, if you want to go in details and if you want help in your business, happy to kind of set up a time and help you out.
Great, Kushal. I think those were the questions that we had. Guys, if there are any more questions, please write it on the Q&A box or raise your hand. We'll be more than happy to answer it. Another query that they have, Kushal, was that will you be sharing the PPT that you just presented? Is that possible?
I'll so because there are some business information in that, so
Sure.
I can remove it and then I can share it with everybody.
Yeah, that works. I mean, whatever content that you're comfortable with sharing, if you can share that with the audience, I think that'll be relevant for them. There's another question. It says that what strategies are used to increase conversion for inbound customers?
So what's the name? Ridge. Okay. Hi Ridge. So I think again, Ridge, that's a customer journey which I shown you. If you're able to kind of make that cycle better using your CRM, your conversion rate will increase. You actually have to deploy a person to kind of understand the entire cycle, the readability of every email, the relevance of the content on each email, where people are clicking, where they are kind of going after, what kind of Q&As they are asking. So it's a complete journey. If you're able to kind of map from demo to closure state, if you're able to marry your amazing content to your amazing as per the need of the person, you will increase the inbound lead velocity for sure. And we can spend some time again, if you have any issues, I'll be happy to help. We can set up a time, and because every company is different, and you have to strategize your strategies according to your business model altogether. So do reach out to me at kushal@xoxoday.com, and I can probably see if I can spend some time on your business. Yeah.
I think those are the questions that we had, Kushal. Thank you for spending so much time with us and answering everybody very patiently. I'm getting good feedback from everybody who's attending. I think they find it really valuable. Great session, Kailash. Right? Thank you, thank you, Kailash. So there's one more question. Ritesh asked that how to reduce the sales cycle.
So I'll share this PPT, Ritesh, and I think I try to answer it with that third chapter of my slides. If you're able to kind of if you are able to translate those strategies in your business, you can certainly reduce the sales cycle, and I have done it myself. So I mean, reduction of the sales cycle is not a. I mean, I can't answer in a one word. It is a science, and it requires deep understanding about your business and then building it that way. I have told that you have to break the entire sales cycle into three parts: discovery to demos, demos to closure, and closure to kind of success, and see how you can kind of address to each three segments differently and as per your business scenarios and needs. And you have to feed the right set of information to people. You have to kind of ask them certain relevant questions so that you qualify between a real customer and maybe a illusion customer. So when you ask these questions like band, right? So you will have an understanding that is this customer whom I want to sell, right? So that also needs to be qualified. If that is qualified, then you focus your energy on only specific to those customers and then grab more leads. So I think it's a cycle, and you have to kind of go deep into these three segments yourself and build those systems in place and use a very, very good CRM. Don't compromise on buying a low quality CRM. Otherwise this session, your entire automation and whatever gyan I've given would not work at all. Because if you envision to automate a lot of pieces in sales, you have to use a great CRM, and it should not be too bulky also. So use a nice CRM which can automate some of these trivial pieces. You can put your content over there so that it does your automatic follow-ups, and a lot of pieces can be automated there. Again, I'm just putting down my email ID. You can reach out to me wherever you want to. I think I've written to panelists only. I think yeah.
Yeah, so Kushal, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sparing the time to do this session. It was really lovely, and I'm sure all of us are, taking back a lot in terms of sales and team and, how to do these actionable things in the future for our own businesses. So thank you so much. And, we're looking forward to more and more sessions from you.
Thanks, Vania. Thanks, Head Start, and thanks everyone for joining in today. Would be great to connect with you again. I'm available in LinkedIn and email anytime, and happy to connect back whenever you have any any concern areas, any place where I can help. Happy to help. Great.
Thank you. Thanks, Priya, for organizing everything so smoothly. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Vanya. Thank you, Kushal sir.
Thanks, Priya.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.